A 90% chance of a recession. That is the prediction tonight from a top economist.
Recession fear is gripping the economy.
It seems like no matter where you turn to today, recession fears are everywhere. But what should you do if you lose your job tomorrow and making ends meet becomes a struggle? Today, I'm going to talk about just how you can recession-proof your life and protect your family's financial future. With the current economic uncertainty and layoffs always around the corner, it is critical to be prepared. Whether we're heading into a recession or not, these strategies will give you peace of mind and financial security. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so the absolute first thing that you should do is to build an emergency fund. I'm talking about cold hard cash that is sitting in your savings account that you can have access to immediately. The goal here is to get about 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. Notice how I said essential, not your current spending, but what you would need to just survive. Rent, food, utilities, insurance, and any minimum debt payments. Now, if this does sound a little bit overwhelming and you are starting from zero, here's what I would do. I would just aim to get $1,000 first. That's your starter emergency fund. It should cover a decent amount of stuff without forcing you to use a credit card. Now, these days, that's not a lot of money, but it's a start. Then I would work my way up to 1 month of expenses, then 3, then 6. Every paycheck, treat your emergency fund like a bill you have to pay. Automate it if you can. Pay yourself first. This money is not for vacation, not for a new TV. It's for emergency, job loss, medical bills, and car repairs. This is your financial cushion that now lets you sleep at night. Now, let's talk about debt, because during a recession, debt becomes a weight around your neck that can drown you. Credit card debt is effectively public enemy number one. If you are paying 18, 20, 25% of interest, you're throwing money away every single month. Here is what my attack plan will be. I would list all my debts from highest interest rates to lowest interest rates, keeping the minimum payments on everything, but throw every single extra dollar at the highest interest debt. Once that is gone, move on to the next one. This is called the avalanche method, and it saves you the most money. Now, some people may prefer the snowball method, paying off the smallest balance first for the psychological wins. Either way works, just pick one and stick with it. I like the first one better, personally. During good times, when you have steady income, is when you need to kill this debt. Because if a recession hits and you lose your job, the minimum payments don't just go away. They can become that weight around your neck. The less debt you have, the less money you need to survive off of each month. This next part, nobody really wants to talk about or nobody really wants to hear, but it is critical. You need to cut your expenses now while times are good. You're going to be looking for these 3 things. 1, subscriptions you forgot about or don't use anymore. Streaming services, gym memberships, apps, meal kits. Cancel them all. You can always resubscribe later if you need any of those or re-sign up for anything that you may actually need. The second thing you're going to look for are habits that are draining your wallet. Daily coffee runs, eating out for lunch every day, impulse online shopping. Now, I'm not here to say eliminate every single joy from your life, but be honest about what you want versus what is a need. And third and final things are big fixed expenses that could probably be negotiated. For example, your insurance company, call them, see if you can get a better rate. If not, shop around. Your internet provider, your phone company, ask for discounts, shop around. You'd be amazed at how much you can save with a few phone calls and a little bit of shopping. Our goal here is to figure out the bare minimum that we actually need to survive every month. Because if times get tough, you already want to be lean and have lean spending habits. You don't want to make big drastic cuts when you're panicking and when you're trying to look for jobs and when things are just not going your way. Now, let's talk about what to do with our investments during a recession. If you have investments or a retirement account, please listen to me carefully. Do not panic and sell everything when the market drops. I know it's scary to sit there and watch your account balance fall. But here's the truth. The stock market has recovered from every single recession in history. If you sell when your prices are down, you lock in those losses forever. Also, if you are young and retirement is decades away, market downturns are actually great buying opportunities. Prices are low, so you're buying more shares with the same money. Think about it like this. If your favorite store had a 50% off sale, you would buy more, right? Well, the stock market kind of works the same way. When prices drop, you're getting stocks on sale. This is the power of dollar cost averaging. Every time you contribute to your 401k or Roth IRA, you're buying at whatever the current price is. sometimes high, sometimes low. But when the market tanks, your regular contributions are suddenly buying way more shares than they did before. So here's a simple example. Let's say you invest $200 every paycheck. When stocks are at $100 each, you get 2 shares, but those same stock dropped to $50 a share during a recession. Now you're getting 4 shares for the same $200. When the market recovers and goes back to $100 per share, you have doubled your money on those shares you bought during the downturn. The worst thing you can do is stop investing when the market crashes. That's when your greatest buying opportunities and your best deals are. The investors who build the most real wealth are the ones who keep buying when everybody else is selling in a panic. Now, here's the important caveat. This only works if you have time. If you are, let's say, 5 years from retirement, you shouldn't be heavily invested in stocks anyways. You should be in safer, more stable investments. But if you got 20 or 30 years until retirement, you can ride out these storms and come out way ahead on the other side. Basically, the bottom line to all this is don't let fear make you sell low. Stay consistent, keep investing, and let time do the heavy lifting. Dollar cost averaging is powerful. Up until now, we've been talking about preparing yourself for a recession and what to do to survive through one. But now let's try a different scenario. What if it's too late for preparation and you've already lost your job and you're panicking about how you're going to pay next month's bill? Well, here's the inaction plan that I would do. All right, so first, in the first 24 hours, file for unemployment today, not tomorrow, not next week, not the next hour, as soon as you possibly can. Go online and call your state unemployment office. Benefits can take up for 2 weeks to start. So every day you wait is more money you are losing. Don't talk yourself out of filing for unemployment right away, thinking you will find a job quickly. File anyway. Next, you need to open your bank account and pull up every single bill you have. You need to triage ruthlessly because you can't pay everything. Here's the priority order that I would do if it were me. Housing first, then utilities, then food, and then transportation. Everything else, credit cards, personal loans, even medical bills, come after, or if you really can't afford it, none at all, and deal with them later. You need a roof over your head and you need the lights on. Next, you need to get some money coming in. You need cash flow immediately. So here's what you can do. You can DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, TaskRabbit. These are just some gig apps that can help you earn a bit of money within a few days to try to get some cash flow in, especially while you wait for unemployment. It's not glamorous, but it is fast money while you search for a job and while you wait for unemployment. Next, start selling anything you don't absolutely need. That treadmill you never use that sits in your closet collecting dust, list it on Facebook Marketplace right now. Old phones, furniture, clothing that doesn't fit you anymore that you haven't worn in at least 1 or 2 seasons, turn it all into cash, sell it now. Now, here comes the hard part. You're going to have to deal with your bills. Now, you're going to need to get on the phone with these and every single creditor you have: credit cards, car loans, mortgage company, landlord if you're renting. Tell them exactly what happened. I lost my job and I need to know what hardship options you have available. Most lenders have programs, reduced payments, reduced interest rates, freezes, forbearance periods, but you have to ask for them. You have to take that initiative and call them and talk to them, and do so before you start missing your payments. Once you're in default, your options really tend to shrink. For your rent or mortgage, this is critical. Do not stop paying and hope they don't notice. That's not going to happen and you are going to get evicted. And that's also a fast track for foreclosure. Call them, explain your situation, and work out a plan. Many will accept maybe hopefully partial payments or give you extra time if you communicate. Same with your utilities. Call your electric, gas, and water companies. Ask about payment plans and hardship programs. Also, if you can, look into the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It can help pay some of your heating and cooling bills. Medical bills, you can always negotiate those. Call the billing department and ask about payment plans or charity care. Many hospitals have financial assistance for people who have lost jobs, and some will even write it off and not even bother collecting the money from you anyway. Next, apply for food stamps immediately. You can do it online in most states, and if you have kids, they automatically qualify for free school meals. Find your local food bank. This is exactly the type of thing that they were made for. Go there, get some food, make sure everybody's taken care of. The next part of all this will be the job hunt. Treat finding a job like it's your new full-time job. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Update your resume, apply to everything, network, reach out to old colleagues, post on LinkedIn that you're actively looking. Do anything and everything you can to land that new opportunity. Remember, this is a temporary position and it may not feel that way at that moment. The recession ends, job markets recover, and you will get through this. Take action, keep calm, and you will survive, and everything will be okay.